Good day, everybody. We're going to get started here. Happy Friday. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. We're going to get things kicked off here in about a minute. So just sit tight, let us know where you're tuning in from, and we'll get started here momentarily. All right, I see we have a couple dozen people joining. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a great day. It is Friday, as I mentioned. Happy Friday. We're going to get started here in about 30 seconds. We'll give it another half a minute for people to jump on. We got Stefan from Rockford, Illinois. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. All right, without further ado, let's get things kicked off. As I mentioned, it is Friday, May 23rd. Hope you're well. We're going to get started. Usually I do the before market open market updates, ticker requests, and the before market close market updates for members only. But today there's been a lot happening in the market, so I wanted to come on and do this one public today. And it's been a while since we did a live stream, so if anybody has any requests as well, we can get to those at the end. Pow Group private members, just let me know if you have any requests, and we'll get to those first. Just let me know inside of the Slack community as well. That way I'll be able to see those first. But we'll jump right into it. Make sure to smash the like, subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future live streams or when I post new content. And as always, not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So we'll jump right into the market here. Before I do, I want to remind everybody that in just over an hour and a half, I'm going to be jumping on, having a discussion with Martin Lucas Investor. We're going to be discussing SPCE stock. It's pulled back about 50%. I mentioned that it was probably going to see at least a 40% correction, and here we are back down, but it's probably due for a bounce soon. So we'll see if SPCE stock, Virgin Galactic, can bounce while we're doing the live stream. This is going to be a live chat, so you'll be able to interact here, as you can see, with the live chat and ask any questions. But we'll jump into the market. So obviously we have some more tariff games going on. It's pretty ridiculous at this point. I said to the Pow Group private community today, show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. If I just bring up the Pow Group private community here, I'll show you exactly what I was talking about. So if I scroll up just to, what was this, yesterday? No, this was Tuesday, my bad. So this was Tuesday. I said the S&P 500 could roll over here very soon, in my opinion, for a weekly higher low. Also a rising wedge on the daily. And I mentioned that we did have a daily bull flag forming here, but what do you notice here about the previous few weeks? It was all bull flags, right? So when you confirm multiple bull flags one after the other, the chances of another one confirming are a lot less likely. So the fact that we had, like the third bull flag in a row, well, it told me that we had to be cautious on that. That wasn't the most likely scenario. And then also the rising wedge on the daily. And then the measured move, this was SPX, so the S&P 500 index, that doesn't factor in dividends. But essentially, you just remove that one figure. So it'd be 540 on SPY or 5,400 on SPX. So today I think we dropped down into the 560s, and that had to do with the shenanigans that we've seen with this tariff bit here today. So yeah, S&P 500, so show me the chart, I'll tell you the news, remember this. That's exactly what we got. And we had no support, right? On the weekly time frame, we had no support all the way down to, I think it was 508. If you zoom out to the weekly, yeah, it was 508.46. We had no support all the way down to that level. So we're starting weekly consolidation, losing the low of last week. I also mentioned this was the most likely scenario. We could see the EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but we we were still a ways away for that to happen. So it made all the sense in the world to see us start weekly consolidation, form a weekly high or low. We have no weekly high or low down to 508. So form that weekly high or low, establish that support, tighten up those EMAs, and then get that bull cross right around the same time we get a back test of the weekly high or low on those EMAs, and then see a final push higher. That's what I'm expecting here for this market. And essentially, it was Trump again. He did this in 2016 to 2020 in his last term. Every single time the stock market was ripping, he would come on and say something about the China trade deal. And the stock market would go down. And then, next week, the stock market would be plummeting and it would approach a key support level. And he would come out saying, oh, progress on the China trade deal. And it's just a way for them to manipulate the market. Imagine just being like, if you or I, listening to me right now, imagine if you or I were able to go on our platforms, right? Whether it be Truth Social, X, whatever it is, YouTube, we just come on here and we say, oh yeah, we're gonna do tariffs, and then crash the market, and then a week later be like, just kidding, not actually gonna go through with that. So what he's doing is he's been asking the EU to cut tariffs, and they haven't been agreeing to that. So he's threatening a 50% tariff on the EU. It's just a way to get a negotiation tactic to get what he wants, right? So in my opinion, it's nothing really to worry about. It's more than likely just going to result in a deal being made, similar to what's happening with other threats of tariffs, and then also Apple. The 25% tariffs on iPhones that weren't made in the US is rattling the markets here today. So that's basically a quick update. Mr. Mankey and Jaro in the house. Welcome, welcome. VIP members. Yes, I'm here on time. Welcome. Yeah, you made it. Finally, a notification. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with... sometimes if you unsubscribe and then... I think when you unsubscribe, it would automatically disable notifications. But if you disable the notification, unsubscribe from the YouTube channel, then resubscribe and re-enable the notification, sometimes I hear that helps. But yeah, it's not surprising that my channel probably not liked by the algorithms, right? They don't like when you tell the truth and call people out, and this is all manipulation, folks. All you see today, mainstream media won't tell you that though. But it's news for the masses, not the classes, right? So it's and I promote the hell out of MJ stocks, so yeah, the algorithm probably doesn't love me, but that might help, hopefully. Can we check out MPW Medical Properties Trust? Also a new stock I think might be worth looking into is ARS Pharmaceuticals. They do nasal EpiPen. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can dive into that. We'll just do a quick update here on the market as well, get a feel for everything. The market just opened, so we'll see where we opened here. Just checking in on the Power Group private community to see if there's any news that came out. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, so we're bouncing here now. We do have support on the daily at 556, and that was actually a double bottom. So that should be solid support there. We are at risk of a potential head and shoulders if we do come back to that level. Hourly time frame. I don't think that's a bear flag, but we can take a quick peek. Yeah, you could make the argument that it resembles a bear flag, and we are hitting hourly oversold at the moment. So the target was saying about 574, and we hit 575. Zoom out to the weekly here. So weekly, let's see if we can get a weekly bull flag forming here. So we'll get rid of that. No longer expecting that daily bull flag, so you just go from here, from the low to the high. Anything over 561 is a potential weekly bull flag here on this weekly consolidation. Let's move it over to our 0.382 fib. If that were to confirm, that'll bring us up to the 657. It's entirely possible that this happens. Like, I would not be surprised at all to see one more final push higher and just complete mania. I think that all the stars are sort of aligning for that, and if we're going to get a big alt season, like I believe is just around the corner, then there's market euphoria everywhere would be insane. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw 650. All-time highs at 613. So in terms of percentage away, that's only little over 7%, 7.25%. So yeah, that wouldn't be completely out to lunch at all. In terms of crypto, we've got Songbird, we've got XXRP, the ETF, futures-based, and VET leading the decline today. And on the bull list, we only have BAT and Sologenic. So Bitcoin hasn't even started weekly consolidation yet. So very strong, but again, no support all the way down to 74,000. One thing I wanted to mention as well is we have a golden cross forming right now on Bitcoin, and it's actually crossing. Yeah, it has crossed. So the 50-day moving average is at 94,000, and we've got the 200-day moving average just under 94,000. So the cross is official. I would not be surprised at all to see us at 120,000 over the next week or so. But again, just the fact that we have no support all the way down to 74,000 on the weekly is a little concerning. And Bitcoin dominance is going to be something to watch as well. So we are bouncing on the weekly, but we've never been this overbought in terms of the dominance. You can see here we're pushing over 70. We're at 70.08 at the moment, and we were higher than that. We were at about 72. So again, really any week now, any month now, I'm expecting a huge drop off on Bitcoin dominance, and that is going to pave the way for a full-blown and massive alt season. XRP is kind of the opposite. It's trying to fight off a death cross. But a lot of names, Bitcoin already seeing a bull cross. If we bring up like XLM for comparison, it already had its death cross. ETH already had its death cross, now gearing up for a golden cross again over the next, well, it's going to be a while, next few weeks. HBAR already had its death cross, so you could make the argument that, you know, all these death crosses have already happened and the XRP's saving. Or you could say it's not saving and it's going to be coming soon. Personally, I don't think that's the case, because like I said, everything else is already confirmed it, and we've already seen bull crosses on and golden crosses on Bitcoin. So that decreases the odds that we're going to see it on XRP, in my opinion, and also the fact that XRP is holding the 100-day moving average here, very strong support, and maintaining well above that, and the fact that it's staying above $2 is a huge sign of strength, in my opinion. Similar to Bitcoin, though, on the weekly time frame, a little concerned about the weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, but similar to the death cross, we haven't seen that happen yet, but it's already happened on Ethereum. Already happened. Actually, no, HBAR hasn't seen it yet. Let's see if it happened on XLM. Very close. So yeah, we could see one more final dip before full-blown alt season, in my opinion, but again, holding that 50-week, or sorry, that 12 EMA while it's holding the 50 or the 100-day moving average. So yeah, it's pretty choppy right now. I would say it's a 50-50 chance, but not ruling out one more minor dip on the XRP chart and some of our altcoins before we see full-blown alt season. It's looking like sometime in June. Everything's sort of been pushed back. We've had, like I said, a lot of manipulation in the market with these tariffs. How's the MJ market holding up today? So you got DB, CXXI, and Cura in the green, the red. Yeah, not too bad, actually. CGC only down 4.66%. You got YOLO, PLTH, and TLRY. TLRY only down just under 2%. Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see the S&P 500 down, you know, 1% or over 1%, and then most MJ only down 1%, a little over 1%. Reason for that is because MJ hasn't been on an absolute tear recently. VFF has been, though. There's some news that the CEO has added again. So he's added about 55,000 shares over the last few days. A little odd, though. I don't know why you'd want to buy it like $1.10, $1.20 and not buy it at 40 cents, 50 cents. Is he like most retail investors and gets FOMO and only buys when it's going up? I don't know. Weird. I don't know why you'd want to wait for a 100% move to load up, but maybe he wasn't sold on VFF either. Who knows? But yeah, overall, I think he owns close to 10 million shares now. It was 9.6, I think it was. 9.6 million shares. So yeah, 55,000 shares, not a huge amount when you're sitting on almost 10 million, but it's something. VFF as well, daily bull flag, we were targeting 144. Just go from here, from the low to the high. And that gives you your measured move there. To about 144, maybe even 145. All right. Chris in the Palgate Private Community would like to take a look at NDA. We can take a look at that one. It's been a while since we looked at that one, I believe. Yeah, Neptune. Oh, wow. That's a blast from the past. So daily bounce underway. We do have resistance coming up at 217. Support down there at 169. Looking very strong. Trying to break into all-time high territory. And we still have yet to, you could say this is a bit of a cup and handle here. Maybe a bigger cup and handle forming if we get back up to around that 280 mark. Yeah, maybe on the monthlies a little bit more clear. And then, yeah, monthly uptrend. It's actually a monthly bull flag by the looks of it. So we go from low to the high there. Yeah. No, never mind. Pulled back more than we would have liked to see. You don't want it to pull back more than the 0.32 fib. If you go from the low to the high there, it's pulled back substantially. But I think it was a weekly bull flag. Yeah, no, still pulled back more than we would have liked to see. Was an ascending triangle though. And you just go to where it broke out, and that was the target right there. And that's exactly where we closed that candle, right? We had the upper wick, but that's exactly where clear resistance was, 250. So yeah, that's going to be the level to break. Get a close, 2, preferably 3 candle closes over 250, and likely heading up to 280. And then, like I said, could even see a type of cup and handle. Not the most clear though. But on the weekly time frame, no support down to 122. So when we do top out here, we're going to need to form a weekly higher low and a higher high to get back into a weekly uptrend. Let's check our lower level time frames here. It's actually, now that's got to be a bull flag. It's actually a double top into a bull flag. So we had resistance there at 204 and 204. So double top at 204. On the hourly, oh yeah, and we just pulled back. It's on the TSXV as well, so I think there was a little bit of a lag there. So yeah, no longer expecting an hourly bull flag. NDAV. And we're close to seeing a MACD bull cross, so it's looking good. Should see a big move. Continuing, yeah, we had the 50 and the 200 weekly moving average bull cross. And you can see when that happens on the daily, it's called a golden cross. When it happens on the weekly, it's even more bullish. And as you can see, when that happened, price was at about 40 cents and then skyrocketed all the way up to almost $3. Daily time frame. We already had the golden cross right around that same time as well. So yeah, that was a huge buy signal. Look at that. We had the golden cross and the weekly 50 and 200 all simultaneously. And then back there we also had the weekly stochastic and MACD bull cross as well. So yeah, all signals were pointing that back then on NDA that we were going to see a massive move. I'd just be cautious with this one. Pretty choppy at the moment. If you are looking for an entry though, maybe wait for weekly consolidation on this one. You know, we did pull back almost 60%, so pretty choppy at the moment. We're just stuck in this range. Just checking in on the Power Group private community here real quick, and then we'll jump into the chat. Yeah, Trump did say they're going to make, or Bitcoin, US is leading in Bitcoin and crypto, and they're going to keep it that way. Yeah, we were talking in the group. Dan said BFF CEO about not adding when it was 50 cents after the Veggie private deal. He sees massive upside. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're the CEO of a company. I don't know why you wouldn't be confident. It's funny though, because I've been saying for like multiple years now that I like VFF, but I don't like their veggie business. And I said that's the only thing that I'm not sold on, is that in their business model. And then sure enough, they privatized it. So I guess I was, like I said, when I have a gut feeling about something, it's usually right 99% of the time. And that just comes with experience and just not listening to the mainstream media and nonsense and the retail investors, right? A lot of people don't really take the time to understand things, and it's just an echo chamber, right? What one person echoes, they all go, and yeah. Jumping into the chat here. So we got Mr. Mankey. I think I already read that one. Yeah, I did. Got out of space on that high. It felt good. Yeah, the space was due for a pullback for sure. You can see we have this support trend line. We're coming back to it now. Had to put us around 330. But yeah, when you have, look at that short squeeze, right? When you go, we had no support really all the way down to 279, and we hit 664. So that's why I said you need to expect at least a 40% pullback, and here we are down 46%, but we're still in a daily uptrend. So that's very important as well, right? When most people think if you pull back 40 or 50% on a stock, it's the end of the world, right? It's Armageddon. This is not normal. But if you understand what an uptrend is, you would say, oh, well, you know, we're still in a daily uptrend even after a 46% pullback. We'd have to come down and lose that low at 279 to no longer be in a daily uptrend. So daily overbought. We were heavily overbought as well, especially with that upper wick. Haven't even started weekly consolidation yet. Still holding the low last week. Like, that's insane. Yeah, we do have this interview coming up with Martin Lucas Investor. That's going to be in 69 minutes. Let me just refresh that to make sure. I'm not sure if it counts down. Yep, 69 minutes. So looking forward to that. All right, let's take a look at that other one. Check out MPW Medical Properties. MPW. So weekly downtrend, lower high and lower low. Could potentially be heading to weekly oversold here. Monthly time frame, that means look for monthly consolidation, and that's exactly what we've been seeing. We had a double top there on the monthly at 654 and 655. We do have key support coming up at 351, so about $1 away. Daily time frame, daily downtrend as well. Could be a daily bear flag forming if we do start the daily bounce. Oh, I already charted this one for you. Well, show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. I already charted this for you, must have been, what, like a week ago or something? Or somebody else might have asked me for it. Maybe not yourself, but yeah, apparently I already drew it out. So we had our high, low of the dump, lower high, weak bounce, bear flag, target. If you just take your measure move there from the high to the low, move it out to your 0.32 fib, and it was saying the target was 455, and we hit 444. But you can see pretty much where we're ignoring that lower wick. We're like right there at that target. Daily oversold as well, so we're likely due for a daily bounce. But there could be another daily bear flag forming. But again, the more flags that happen consecutively, the less likely they are to confirm. We're also daily oversold, so that decreases the odds of another bear flag in my opinion. But anything under 469 is a potential daily bear flag if we start the daily bounce here over the next day or two. Trading days. And then if we were to confirm that, if we were unable to get above, say 470, then come down and lose support there at 444, and we'd be looking at a move down to around 408. But again, not the most likely scenario after already confirming a bear flag, multiple, and daily oversold. Yeah, we already have the stochastic MACD bear cross as well on the weekly, so questioning how much more downside from here. We could see a 50 and a 100 weekly moving average bull cross, so that's looking decent for an oversold bounce at some point soon, likely in the next couple of weeks. Still a long ways away before we see a death cross as well with the 50 and the 200-day moving average. Cureleaf opens 67th Florida dispensary in Punta Gorda. 67th Florida dispensary. Wow. New stock might be worth looking into is ARS Pharmaceuticals. So SPRY. Spray, I guess, would it? Yeah, it's been on a tear in the last week or so. That being said, though, we have no nearby support. Trying to confirm a weekly uptrend here. We have our low, high, higher low, looking for the higher high. So key resistance from here is going to be 1544. Yeah, it's a big old monthly bull flag too by the looks of it. Go from the low to the high there. And we're still in a monthly uptrend. Low, high, higher low, and higher high. Higher low, looking for the higher high. Yeah, this is a clear level of resistance there. And also a bit of an ascending triangle as well. So I'll be conservative on this one. So if we were to break out here, be a move up to around 24 bucks. And we'll get the bull flag target as well. That was saying 36 bucks. So yeah, we'll go right in the middle. So somewhere around 30 bucks should be doable. We do have price action resistance there at 35.63, so get over 1851 and then it's clear runway right up to 35 there in terms of price action. SPRY. Yeah, the stochastic cross bearish, but MACD still bullish for the minute. Weekly time frame held the 50 weekly on this pullback, acting as nice support. No major red flags at the moment. We just had a golden cross as well. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see us with this continuation. Like I said, still in a monthly uptrend, ascending triangle, and a bull flag on the monthly. right, hopefully that helps. I do have to run in a few minutes. I might have a person stopping by my condo. They're doing balcony inspections today. You know anything about Algorand? Looks interesting, judging from fundamentals. Just haven't spent a lot of time on it. Oh yeah, Algorand, HBAR, XLM, XRP. Those are all pretty much my top holdings. Yeah, I highly recommend Algorand. My daughter's banging on my door. She knows when I'm in here. I'm coming. Dead. Love it. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at Algorand on a different video though. I'm gonna have to get going here. Interesting stuff. If we can look it up. IIPR. Yeah, we'll have to do that one on another stream. We can do it. Take a quick peek at them, I guess. So ALGO close to seeing the first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. We're topping out right at that EMA 26. Low, high, higher, low. Nice weekly uptrend though. Daily time frame. You could say we're still in a daily uptrend as well with our higher, low, higher, high pattern. Low, high, higher, low. Looking for the higher high. Let's see where we're at here on the weekly. Yeah, we're looking good. We just had the MACD bull cross as well. And we already had the death cross on ALGO as well. So that's out of the way. We could see a golden cross over the next few weeks. Happy Friday. Yeah, same to you, Justin. IIPR. So that one's been weak for a while now. Topping out right at the 50-day moving average at the moment. And I think we had a monthly bear flag on this one. Yeah, so we had the monthly bear flag, high, low, lower high, weak bounce, and our target was 44. We hit 45. So even if you just entered close to that target for a bounce, it would have been 26, almost 27% of upside. You could have set your stop just under 44. So essentially you could have risked, risk about 3.5% to make 26, 27%. That was a great trade-off. But yeah, monthly bounce underway, and we have no resistance really until 75. So we're looking pretty decent. TLRY, same thing. Just pretty much range bound here. I mentioned yesterday in the video that on the daily time frame, we do have this resistance line that is now acting as new support. We got above it. We're back testing it. We're holding it. EMA 12 and 26 bull cross is lining up, and we have this hidden bullish RSI divergence with higher lows and higher highs on the price, and lower highs and lower lows on, lower highs and lower lows on the price, and higher lows and higher highs on the RSI. Something similar just happened to CGC, where it had lower highs, lower lows on the price, higher lows, higher highs on this, then went to daily overbought and had a massive move. So I'm expecting something similar here for TLRY over the next couple weeks. Yeah, solid time to load up, in my opinion, on ALGO, Jaro. But yeah, definitely look into it. It's one of my top 5 holdings for sure. Thanks, got to go too. Have a good weekend. Absolutely. All right. Hope you have a great day. We'll check in a little bit later. And again, just as a reminder, I'll be going live here in 1 hour with Martin Lucas Investor. We're going to be taking a look at SPCE stock. We'll discuss. I know nothing about the company, really, to be completely frank. It's just a technical play for me. And, I've been following the company. I know, the basics. But when it comes to, hardcore fundamentals, this will be a great conversation to have with Martin. So looking forward to it. Checking in on SPY here real quick. 577, so not much has changed since I started the stream. We've got multiple inside bars here on the 15-minute time frame. All right, going into there. Thanks for joining, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.